Good morning, YouTube. Here we are, a week later, and my little video camera is still working. And I assure you, nobody's more surprised by that than me. I mean, I wish y'all could see this thing. It cracks me up. What it reminds me of is like a toy video camera that you get over in the children's department. You know, it looks like a real camcorder. It's shaped like a real camcorder. It has little teeny weeny chiclet buttons just like a real camcorder. But everything is scaled down. It's like made for little child-sized fingers. Like right now, I'm holding this thing by my fingertips. Because if I was to put it in the palm of my hand, I'd end up smothering the poor thing. I wouldn't be able to see anything. And like the flip-out viewer, it's like it has a flip-out viewer just like a regular camcorder, but the flip-out viewer is like the size of a postage stamp. I mean, it's a little teeny-weeny picture, and it has no horsepower. If the sun is shining, you cannot tell what the camera's pointed at. But this morning the sun hadn't moved overhead, so I can see what the camera's pointed at. And I wanted to make a video real quick. I'm going to make a video this afternoon concentrating only on Farrar's ignition. There were a couple of things that I didn't point out on his ignition on the last video, and also I want to give credit to some people where credit is due. But this morning I wanted to real quickly knock out a video to explain something on how carburetors work, and to explain why Farrar's was not working properly in that last video. This here is a choke cap. Some people call it a thermostat. This is what controls how long it takes your choke mechanism to go from its cold settings to its warm settings. And Farrar's was not working properly. His old choke cap was not working properly in that other video. I've replaced it. But the way these choke caps work, on the inside there's a spring. And as the spring heats up, it expands. And that's what moves the choke mechanism from its cold settings to its warm settings. In the bad old days, that spring was heated up by hot air that was routed through the exhaust passages in the intake manifold. We, of course, don't have exhaust passages in our intake manifolds, but it's a moot point because this is an electric choke cap. This is what the car companies all went to in the 1970s. They went away from the hot air chokes and went to electric choke caps. Has a terminal here, and you pass voltage through the terminal, and the resistance inside the spring causes it to heat up and to expand. Now, Farrar's old choke cap here, which has to be replaced anyway because I dropped it and it shattered. Farrar's choke cap was old and brittle, in addition to being electrically not working properly. But it still is electrically intact. So let me show you. I'm having to do this with one hand. Put these terminals on here. Don't you fall again. Doing this with one hand is a pain. Alright, here's Farrar's old choke cap. That's actually better. I was getting like 28, 29 ohms before, but this is way too much resistance. This choke cap is going to heat up like within seconds. You should only have a couple of ohms of resistance. So, let me put this on his new choke cap. This is Farrar's replacement choke cap. And as you can see, it's got just a couple of ohms of resistance. That is what you want in your choke cap. Farrar's getting a new choke cap to go with his new engine. So, move my meter here so I don't tangle the leads in this belt. That would be bad. So now, when you go to start Farrar's car, he has what is called fast idle. See how his RPMs are up there? There's a cam that is attached to his choke mechanism have no